Hello and welcome to Getter Farms. We're here with another episode of the Minnesota Millennial Farmer map by Mapper's Paradise. And today we're going to be getting our equipment finally set up here for some spring tillage and get ready for planting. And we should be pretty much done with the snowplow. So I think it's time to put this back in the shed. At least hopefully we're done with the snowplow. It wouldn't be unheard of to get a late spring snow here in Minnesota. But we're going to take it off regardless because we need to get the seed tender hooked up because we've got a deal up with our local seed distributor this year to pick up some bulk seed from Clock Seed just down the road. So we need to go and get that today. And they've also been doing some contract work, and I think we're going to get them to deliver some herbicide to our storage tanks over here so that we've got it on hand when we need it later. And so I think we're going to just put this right here in the back of the shed. Let's see if I can drop this guy down here. There we go. Nice and easy. And we should probably close this door. And I think I've got the seed tender in this main shop over here. We have swapped out the mod from previously just because I'm hoping this one works. This is the in-game seed tender. I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to dump out of it, force dump onto the ground, because we're also going to pick up a little bit of fertilizer to put in the deep bander while we're out. And then next year I'm working on some mods to get things delivered to the farm next year in a little bit more realistic manner. But for today, we want to go ahead and just get started with some of these different activities, get this equipment cleaned up out of our yard. That door can stay open for now. We'll be back in a moment. And so we're going to zip up here to Clock Seed and get a little bit of seed and a little bit of fertilizer to get us going this spring. So we're coming up here on Clock Brothers Seed, and they've actually been expanding their services here lately. And so now they're also delivering straight out to the farm, both dry and seed and fertilizer, but also chemical. And they've recently also expanded their fleet, so now they're able to spread lime or dry fertilizer out on your fields for you if you schedule far enough in advance. So this is something we might be taking advantage of at some point here. I think to load I need to do this. And let's try and avoid the fence. And I'm really hoping that this is far enough away to get the trigger. It is not. Oh, this is likely not super well thought out on my part. See if I can finagle this under the spout a little bit better. Oh, this isn't going to work. I think it's because I'm just not quite lined up here. Yes. That downspout does not quite align. Oh, goodness. I wonder if I can actually, though, put it straight into the back of the trailer itself. I'm gonna try one more thing here. Yes, we're breaking out of reality here to have the wireframe, because otherwise this would be next to impossible to line up, I suspect. There we go. So I'm gonna put seed in the front. Wow, that filled up fast. I like it. And then I've got to try and line this up one more time. We're going to put some fertilizer in the back. Looks like I can get pretty much anything that I want in here, which is pretty cool. Perfect. Okay. Next time, I should have tried to pull through the other way and just put it in the top. Either way, I think next year we'll just have our seed delivered directly to the farm for us. But we've got a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of seed, and we're going to get our planters set up and ready to go for the year. And then this fertilizer we're going to be putting in the deep bander. Normally I'd do the deep banding in the fall, but since we had to reset the map and muck with seasons a little bit. Oh, I've still got some funky debugging on. There we go. Since we had to muck with seasons a little bit, I think we're going to try and at least do one field with it because I really want to try that mod out today. And then we'll probably go to a more realistic staging for our field work after this round of seasons. We'll probably have the sprayer run and do a couple of rounds of fertilizer here off camera or in parallel to what we're doing, just to get us caught up, because normally I would have already done a fair chunk of stuff in the fall to get ready for spring. So I don't want to sit here and do nothing but spray fertilizer for the next 3 episodes on camera. So we'll figure out how to stage that out a little bit here. So we've got this deep bander here, so let's try and start with that. I suspect this is going to be slightly problematic. I don't know which one is for seed and which one is for fertilizer, to be honest. I'm gonna guess and try this. And if I pipe out for fertilizer, we're gonna see if I can unload directly into this pipe. We may have to cheat and use the wireframe again. We'll try one more without that. Alright, we're gonna cheat. Alright, there we go. So we're getting the fertilizer in at least, which is super exciting. It's like just barely catching that trigger. And then if I switch, I think this thing needs just a little bit of seed to function with a worker right now. I haven't had a chance to go in and fix that. Yep, there we go. Oh wait. Did I get any seed in there? So it's detecting the trigger, but it's not actually putting anything in there. Okay. Either way, let's get rid of all this wonkiness. We have seed in our tender, so we're going to be able to fill up these planters in a bit. And we've got fertilizer in our deep bander now. So in theory, we should be able to do a little bit of deep banding. And then, yeah, we'll give this a shot. And then we're going to come back and get our planters ready to go for the year. So I'm super excited. I can't wait to give this mod a try. Ground isn't frozen anymore. And so I think what we're going to do is just do this little field here by the house as an experiment and see how this mod works. This is a kind of an early release of the mod. The author was kind enough to post this out on our community page. So if you want to get a hold of this mod in its current state, go ahead and go to my Facebook page and check out the community tab, and you'll see a post there. I also think I put the link to this in the description of my previous video. I'll try to remember to put it into this video as well. And so the way that this mod works is it's set up as a plow, and it should be, yep, applying fertilizer behind us as we go. So if I pull open the map, you can see that I'm getting a fertilizer state behind me. I'm cleaning up this little tiny bit of plow line as well. And yeah, it seems to be working pretty good. We're getting a solid 6 miles an hour here, which is probably realistic for knifing in all this stuff. I don't know. I haven't actually done it quite like this. I've definitely put chemical in, more like side dressing style during the year. So we usually ran anhydrous in the fall to put nitrogen into the soil, but I've not done it like this with an air cart behind me. So this is pretty cool. I'm liking this mod so far. The hoses are, a nice touch. About, not fully modeled out, but honestly, this is better than anything I've managed to do with the 3D editing so far. So I'm pretty impressed with how this is working. And yeah, I think there's some problems with hired workers unless you get seed in it, is what he was saying. I think it would be a somewhat easy fix to make a new version of this air cart that only accepted fertilizer to go with this deep bander. That's probably how I would fix that. But this is a really cool mod, adding a little bit more of that realism to the game. This is what I love about Farming Simulator on the PC and all the different mods. So I know a lot of the viewers are on console, and the next question I'm going to get is this coming to console? I suspect no, just based on how the mod was put together, but that would be a question for the mod author. So again, check out my community post on the Facebook page, and you can get in contact with him directly with any questions. And so this is pretty cool. I will have to figure out the worker, quote unquote, issues to make sure that I can hook a worker up for this job, because this is going pretty slow. I'm surprised that I'm dragging down to 3 miles an hour with the 9RT here. It's pulling pretty hard. I would think that maybe the required horsepower needs to be tweaked just a smidge on this this mod. I don't think the 9RT would have a hard time pulling this on pretty flat ground. But maybe I'm wrong. I have not done it. I have pulled a 2410 though with a smaller tractor, so I guess it just depends on how deep you're going. So yeah, this is going to work out pretty good. We're going to get a state of fertilizer on this field. And then I guess before we plant, we're going to need to turn this over with a basic field cultivator or something just to level this out and not mess up our fertilizer states with the way seasons in FS19 goes. I'll have to think about that. But in general, yeah, we'll need something to run back over the ground to smooth everything out prior to planting. I don't know that we've got a piece of equipment to do that right now on the farm. Maybe get a nice Mandenko vertical tillage tool or something in here with rollers on the back to just run over the ground and get everything all smoothed out. I think I've seen one of those floating around. We could also get a one of those Mandenko roller type deals to flatten the ground out as well. But typically, I want to say you run those after you've seeded to flatten everything out so that it's nice and even before planting or before harvesting. So you run that after the planter, I think. I can't recall. I'll have to look into that a little bit. That's rollers is something that I never used when I was farming. That was more common afterwards. So if you know the appropriate way to use a roller, I would love to hear about that. And in the meantime, I think what we need to do is get a GPS track set up here because we're being terribly inaccurate. So let me find those settings. Let's get headed back down a track here. And yeah, we'll get this guy set up and send him on his way. Where are you going? He's very confused right now. Excuse me, mister, with the GPS. Are you going to drive straight now? You're going to miss that little bit on me? Just to drive me nuts? We're going to have to come back and get that. Yeah, let's pull back over a smidge. Let's turn on the lines and figure out why he's so upsettingly inaccurate. Alright. He just got confused. With that, let's go ahead and cut into a time lapse and get this job done.
Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold. Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I. Life changes as we know it. You do what you can, you just get through it. It's a mystery how people can get by on as little love as you and I. Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold. Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I tried to stay into outgrowing. Time changes people, we both know this. It's a change of season when the tide comes rolling in and you realize there's nothing there to begin. Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold. Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I. Oh, I'm counting roadblocks, you're counting crossroads. They were always there, but we never made a choice. It was never on the map, on this crooked road called life. It was never meant to be you and I. Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold. Never thought we had to run through burning fire. Never thought I had to miss you and I. Never thought I'd be so far from home. Never thought our love could grow so cold.
So this is working out really well, but we'll be definitely checking for compatibility with Courseplay in the future, because I can't imagine doing our giant field back there with something like this, especially at this speed, these work speeds. So that's in our future for sure. And so, but with that, we have finished this field, and it has done its job beautifully. And so we're going to run it back up here into the yard. We've still got some fertilizer in there too, so that's a good deal. And yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here for today. And we will likely be getting on with setting up our planters and hitting planting season as we start next episode. That's all for today. Kedrick, out.